Let's go live now to Julie Doyle in Canberra. Julie, tell us about this story.
Well, this is a story that Channel 7 has broadcast tonight, and it's basically showing footage from Tony Abbot's visit to Afghanistan late last year, and it's footage that Channel 7 has obtained via Freedom of Information. Now, the visit from Tony Abbot came after the death of Lance Corporal Jared McKinney, and to put that in context, there were some questions, a leaked email from a soldier about whether the unit was properly resourced and if that had contributed to his death. Now, in this footage, we see Tony Abbot being given a briefing from the US commander explaining the circumstances surrounding that incident. Now, I must say we haven't seen the full footage. We've only seen the edited version that's been shown tonight on Channel 7. But here's Tony Abbot's response to the US commander.
It's really obvious that yeah, look, you've taken this out of context. You weren't there. I would never seek to make light of the death of an Australian soldier.
I'm not suggesting that, but he was explaining what happened on the day that Jared McKinney was killed. Yeah. There was the email from the soldier suggesting there was not enough support, and Crichton was saying all the support you see here was there. Cantwell was saying he was upset that there'd been criticism of the operation on the day when McKinney was killed. And as a response to that reaction, you said what you said.
I was doing my best to support the soldiers that I was discussing with then. Look, a soldier has died, and you shouldn't be trying to turn this into a subsequent media circus.
The soldiers shouldn't.
Yeah.
I shouldn't.
Yeah.
But I'm not turning into a media circus. I'm showing you vision of your reaction to his explanation about what happened on the day in the operation in which McKinney was killed. How's that turning into a media circus? Okay, well, tell me, what's the context, and if it's out of context, what is the context? You're not saying anything, Tony.
I've given you the response you deserve.
Tony Abbot speaking there with Channel 7's political correspondent Mark Riley. And Julie Doyle in Canberra, has there been any reaction so far to what Mr Abbott's comments here?
Well, there's certainly been plenty of reaction here amongst the journalists. I think the big thing that people are talking about now is not so much the comments, given that we haven't seen the full context, and you heard there Tony Abbot saying that they have been taken out of context. So not so much that, but more so as to how the opposition leader got himself into this situation, why he agreed to do this interview in the courtyard at Parliament with a laptop where he's going to be shown some vision. So the question is, weren't there some alarm bells going from Mr Abbott himself or his advisors as to why they agreed to do this interview? And we have spoken to Channel 7, and they've said it wasn't an ambush, that he was briefed on this subject, and so he didn't just go down there unknowingly. So that's the one question that's being asked about his judgment. And it also comes after other questions have been raised recently about his judgment when it comes to, for instance, the email that was sent out about the flood levy campaign against that levy, and also some questions today about the tone of his speech in the chamber today. So the big issue that's being talked about is Tony Abbot's judgment when it comes to this. And as we saw there, that excruciating reaction as well to Mark Riley's questions, that's also been the big talking point. Just watching that, his silence is there, and how you can see that he's fuming and his head is shaking. And so also a lot of talk around Parliament tonight about the way he responded to those questions.
Julie Doyle in Canberra, thanks very much for that update.